Have you ever looked up at the night sky, feeling the cool air on your skin, and wondered about your place in the universe? In those quiet moments, have you ever questioned if your mind is more than just your brain? If your thoughts, dreams, and feelings are something deeper than electrical signals? This question has fascinated humanity for centuries, inspiring philosophers, scientists, and dreamers alike to search for answers. Are we simply biological machines, made up of cells and neurons? Or is there something more, an essence, a soul, or a consciousness that can exist beyond our physical form? Science can map the intricate pathways of our brains, showing us how thoughts and emotions light up different regions, but it can't fully capture the feeling of being alive, the sense of I am. This mystery shapes how we see life, death, and our place in the universe. It influences our beliefs, our fears, and our hopes for what might come after. If consciousness is only in the brain, then when the brain stops, so do we. Our existence would be tied to the physical, ending when our bodies do. But if consciousness can exist independently, if it's something that can survive beyond the body, then everything we know about life and death changes. What if our brains are more like radios, tuning into a signal that's everywhere, rather than creating consciousness themselves? Could our minds be tapping into something universal? Today, science is beginning to explore these possibilities in new ways, using advanced technology and bold new theories to probe the boundaries of mind and matter. We'll journey through neuroscience, quantum physics, and stories of experiences that defy explanation, accounts of near-death, out-of-body, and moments that challenge what we think we know. Join me as we explore the unknown. Can our minds truly break free from the limits of our bodies? And if so, what does that mean for us all? To ask if consciousness can travel, we first need to understand what consciousness actually is. A question that has puzzled philosophers, scientists, and spiritual seekers for centuries. When we look in the mirror or reflect on our thoughts, we experience something deeply personal and mysterious. But what is the source of this inner awareness? Neuroscience tells us that consciousness emerges from billions of neurons firing together, like a symphony creating music, each cell playing its part in a complex, beautiful harmony. In this view, the brain is the conductor, orchestrating our thoughts, feelings, and every flicker of awareness we experience. Modern technology lets us see which brain parts light up with love, fear, or joy, mapping emotions to specific regions. And when anesthesia is administered, this conscious experience can be switched off, as if flipping a light switch. Materialists argue that the mind is inseparable from the brain. Without the physical brain, there can be no mind, no self, no awareness. But some scientists and philosophers look to quantum physics for a different answer. They propose that consciousness might be a fundamental part of the universe itself, woven into the very fabric of reality. According to this idea, our brains could act like receivers, tuning into a universal field of consciousness that exists everywhere, much like radios picking up invisible signals. While this quantum perspective is still highly speculative, it offers intriguing possibilities and could help explain mysterious phenomena that the brain-based model struggles with. If true, it would mean our individual awareness is just a small part of a much larger, interconnected whole, one vast ocean of consciousness. The scientific community remains divided, with many experts skeptical and others open to new possibilities. The debate is ongoing, and the mystery endures. So, the question remains, are our minds locked inside our skulls, or are we all connected to something much greater, something that spans the universe itself? If consciousness can travel, how would it work? Two famous methods are remote viewing and astral projection. Remote viewing, once studied by the CIA, aimed to use the mind to gather information from afar, sometimes with surprising accuracy. Astral projection is more personal. People report their consciousness leaving their bodies, floating above themselves, or traveling to distant places. These experiences are vivid and found in many cultures, often described as more real than dreams. While hard to study scientifically, the consistency of these reports is striking. They suggest our awareness might not be permanently tied to our physical form. Talking about consciousness outside the body sparks fierce debate. Skeptics argue there's no solid evidence. Out-of-body experiences can be explained by brain states, drugs, or lack of oxygen. They say remote viewing results are often vague or the result of chance and demand rigorous proof. For them, these are psychological phenomena, not evidence of a traveling mind. Believers, especially those who've had these experiences, insist they're more vivid and coherent than dreams or hallucinations. They argue that dismissing these accounts ignores their life-changing impact. Researchers supporting them say science struggles to explain consciousness at all. The consistency of near-death and out-of-body reports across cultures is hard to ignore. The debate challenges us to question what we really know about the mind. Can science study out-of-body experiences? For centuries, people have described leaving their bodies floating above themselves or witnessing events from impossible vantage points. But can these extraordinary claims be tested in a laboratory setting, or are they forever out of reach for scientific investigation? Researchers have tried, especially with near-death experiences and lucid dreaming. They interview patients who report these phenomena, collect detailed accounts, and use advanced technology to monitor brain activity during unusual states of consciousness. Studies like Dr. Sam Parnia's AWARE project placed hidden images in hospitals, hoping patients could report them after near-death experiences. So far, no clear hits. The idea is simple. If someone truly leaves their body, they might see something only visible from above. Skeptics say this proves these are illusions, but proponents argue the odds of success are low due to small sample sizes. They point out that near-death experiences are rare, and even fewer people are in the right place at the right time to participate in such studies. Lucid dreaming offers another clue. Dreamers aware they're dreaming can sometimes control their dreams or even trigger out-of-body sensations. Some experimenters have even trained themselves to induce these states, recording their experiences for science. Neuroscientists find unique brain activity in lucid dreamers, showing the mind can create convincing alternate realities. These brain patterns are different from normal waking or sleeping states, hinting at the brain's remarkable flexibility. Meditation, too, can dissolve the sense of self, with advanced practitioners reporting a feeling of consciousness expanding beyond the body. These experiences are often described as deeply transformative, blurring the line between self and world. Brain scans show dramatic changes during these states, though they don't prove consciousness leaves the body. Instead, they reveal how flexible and mysterious our sense of self can be, shaped by both biology and experience. Still, these findings reveal the mind's power to alter its own reality, suggesting that the boundaries of consciousness are far more fluid than we once believed. Some scientists look to quantum physics for answers, especially the phenomenon of quantum entanglement, where particles remain connected across any distance. This non-local connection echoes the idea of a consciousness that isn't confined to the brain. Theories like Penrose and Hameroff's suggest consciousness might arise from quantum processes in the brain's microtubules. If true, consciousness could be a quantum phenomenon, non-local, and not strictly inside our heads. Critics argue the brain is too chaotic for quantum effects, but research continues. Even if unproven, quantum entanglement offers a powerful metaphor for our interconnectedness. It reminds us the universe is stranger than we think, and maybe so are we. The search for a scientific explanation continues. Is the brain a generator or a receiver of consciousness? The mainstream view, the brain generates consciousness, damage the brain and you change or lose the mind. Evidence from injuries, anesthesia, and brain scans supports this. But the alternative, the brain as a receiver, tuning into a universal consciousness, like a radio picking up a signal. In this model, damaging the brain distorts the signal but doesn't destroy consciousness itself. Out-of-body and near-death experiences could be moments when the brain's filter weakens, letting consciousness experience its true, non-local nature. Both models explain the evidence, but lead to radically different conclusions. The debate is ongoing, and the answer could reshape our understanding of life and death. Are we creators of consciousness or just receivers? We've explored the brain as both machine and receiver, weighed science against personal experience, and found no simple answers. The question of consciousness isn't just scientific, it's about who we are. Maybe the truth is both. Our brains generate our personal awareness by tapping into something universal. This honors both neuroscience and the transformative power of experience. It suggests we are both finite and infinite, living at the edge of the physical and the mysterious. Exploring this question invites us to be open, curious, and empathetic. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, the journey itself expands our sense of what it means to be human. The adventure of consciousness may be the greatest journey of all.